And we are back. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here as always. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. So tonight is the final debate, and we're going to have our pre-show at 8 p.m. immediately following this broadcast. Today was a day that the president, he threatened that this was going to happen, and so he made good on that threat. He leaked the interview with Leslie Stahl for 60 Minutes. It was set to air on Sunday. So the White House had their own cameras there, and they were taping as well. So you got a first-person perspective of the interview from the president's perspective. The interview was not incredibly difficult. It was, she asked follow-up questions. She did an interview the way that it should be done. Trump tried to spit the same old talking points that he always does. Interview was about 38 minutes long, just under 38 minutes. And the president and veteran interviewer Leslie Stahl tangled over a number of topics: economics claims, the size of his rallies, Trump's shifting stances on the use of face masks during this pandemic. And something really showed that people already know, and that is that the president really does not like to take responsibility for anything. He does not take responsibility for anything. So this unedited interview he posted to his Facebook page, and he claims that if it was not for social media, he wouldn't be in the White House. And that social media, of course, you've heard him say this before. Social media is his only way to communicate with the people, which is such crap. I have never seen an adult that is so victimized. I mean, he wants to be the victim. Everything is not fair for me. You are the president. You are the most powerful person in the world, and you still want to operate like you're a regular person, a child at that. Everything, why this, why that? I mean, he's a cry baby. Can you imagine this guy as a child? Wait, we can, because he acts like one now. I mean, he complained about the opening line. Are you ready for some tough questions? Why? You're so unfair to me. Would you ask Joe Biden a tough question? You're the president, fool. He's the president. Of course he's going to get different questions than someone who's not the president. But you MAGA supporters, you people enable him. His mama enabled him. Family members, you Trump family members, y'all enable him. There's no reason that a grown man who happens to be the president gets bent out of shape because an interviewer says, "Are you ready for some tough questions?" Ooh. I mean, it's just, this is a grown man who acts like a little baby. He's a little baby. And the fact that he put this interview out, he thinks that he was treated unfairly. The interview wasn't unfair. It didn't seem any different than any other interview that we've seen. Yeah, there was some back and forth, and I thought that it was a good interview. I mean, the president did his greatest hits, his normal shtick, takes responsibility for nothing, right? The lock them up chance that he incites and encourages, he acts like, oh, the people came up with that on their own. No, people didn't come up with that on their own. They came up with that because you encouraged it. And I liked how she stood up to him. I mean, why are you talking about Hillary? And Joe, let me understand this. In a pandemic, Joe Biden's son, who has drug problems or had drug problems, him and his laptop that's the most important thing in the world. Really? That's the most important thing in the election. Really? And you MAGA supporters, y'all riding with that? Joe Biden's son, or Hunter Biden, who had the drug problem. Hunter Biden and his laptop, alleged laptop, because who Steve Bannon and company coming up with the laptop, that's Hunter Biden's laptop? Okay, whatever. But that in the middle of a pandemic. In the middle of the pandemic, with record unemployment, industries disappearing, that's the most important thing. These are the reasons why Donald Trump should not be reelected. Look at where his priorities are. They don't exist. His priorities don't exist. So he talks about, look at the bias, the hatred, and the rudeness on behalf of 60 Minutes and CBS. This clown is talking about bias. This clown is talking about hatred and rudeness. Really? Really? It was a fiasco. And the thing about it is that he's making it worse. He should have just been cool and just let it roll regular. But no, he couldn't. He couldn't do that. And if you think that this guy is going to get on a stage in front of what's going to probably be a record-breaking crowd tonight, if you think he's going to get up there and act like he has sense and let Joe Biden speak, that's what the Republicans are hoping. Let Biden speak. If you think that this guy, this baby, this juvenile is going to be able to do that, you got another thing coming. Republicans, you have another thing coming. And also, while leaker, you know, isn't it so ironic? He always talks about, oh, such and such, he was a leaker. This one's a leaker. Oh, the president, you're a leaker, right? We already knew that anyway. But it's ironic that he finds himself enacting the same things that he says other people do. This isn't the first time. This isn't the second time. This isn't the third time we've seen that. But he also took shots at tonight's debate moderator, Kristen Walker, saying that she's far worse. And of course, he's criticizing her. It's not the first time he's criticized her. And that's fine. I just don't see the mindset of the mentality of it. He should be focused on preparing to make his case for re-election. The only case that he could possibly make would be to focus on the economy. Of course, he doesn't want to focus on the pandemic, right? Of course, he doesn't want to talk about the record unemployment. He doesn't want to talk about any of that stuff. He just wants to talk about Hunter Biden and spying on his campaign and Hillary's emails. It's just the greatest hits of, I don't know. Still no plan, no replacement for the Affordable Care Act. Still, after all this time, the Republicans, y'all have had 10 years to come up with something. And 4 of the years you had this clown at the head of the bus, which is part of your problem. But Republicans, this is the part that's so confusing, right? Healthcare is not a partisan issue. That's an American thing. And instead of trying to tear pieces away from the ACA, why don't you focus on making it better? It's not a partisan thing. But the Republicans have been hoodwinked into thinking that Trump, who doesn't give two craps about the Republican Party, about the Democratic Party, about Americans, he does not care. He's dragging the Republicans down, and you know that it's coming. You know that it's going to happen. But y'all are still there, scared to jump ship. The ship is going down. The ship is going down. Republicans are going to feel the wrath of the American people at the voting booth. Election day is coming. You know how I say winter is coming? Election day is coming. Election day is coming. And Republicans are going to have to deal with that. And it's your own fault. According to reports, 40 million Americans have already voted. We are 12 days days until the election. It is go time. It is go time. So the White House taped this interview using its own cameras. They wanted to archive, right? Whatever. But Trump was agitated. He wanted to get his medicine. And off camera, people were trying to help him. I mean, he is the most pacified adult that I've seen, that's not committed somewhere. He on Twitter said this was a vicious takedown. That was a vicious takedown? Vicious? Really? Vicious. I mean, it's sad that this guy is in charge. This guy is in charge of America. So CBS issued a statement saying that the actions of the White House would not alter its plans to air the interview on Sunday alongside a conversation with Joe Biden. Typically, 60 Minutes is the most watched non-sports primetime program of the week. So Trump showing us his one-camera view, it's like someone going live on Instagram, right, at an event, and you're only having the phone on them. People still want to see the rest. All he's done is promote this. People are still going to watch. I hope he doesn't think that people are not going to watch, right? It reminds me of a wrestling trick, an old wrestling trick during the Monday Night War in the 90s. You had the WWF against WCW. And at the time, WWF's shows were taped, their Monday night shows. And WCW was live. And so WCW gave away the finish of the main event. Mick Foley won the title. And the WCW announcer said, on the other channel, Mick Foley's winning the world title, right? That's going to put some butts in seats. And then when you look at the ratings, when you look at the Nielsen ratings, collectively, most of the people that were watching turned to the other channel just to see it, right? Trump doing this is equivalent to that. People are going to tune in on Sunday to see this. They're going to get to see Leslie Stahl and her reactions and Joe Biden, his reactions, and they're probably going to put some more stuff in there that we don't even know about. And I don't think that this move was a good move for Trump. I think that it just shows his childish ways, his childish nature. It is very interesting that the president acts this way. So CBS said that the White House's unprecedented decision to disregard their agreement with CBS News and release their footage will not deter 60 Minutes from providing its full, fair, and contextual reporting, which presidents have participated in for decades, the news division said in a statement. Right. I mean, the fact that this guy is coming and just trying to tear down the fabric of this country, and people are just going along for the ride. When they look back at this time period, they're going to be asking questions like, what was going on? What were these people smoking? What were these people drinking? What were these people drinking? He always wants to be the victim. And then other adults, this is the killer, other adults pacify him. Oh, it's not fair to the president. You know what I mean? The president. That's like LeBron James. I mean, he complains, right? But you can't, if you are the guy, how are you complaining about it's not being fair? It's like Beyonce coming out talking about these other R&B singers, getting better tracks than her, or something's not fair. It's Beyonce. You're the top. You're the top R&B. You're the top girl, right? Or whoever the top Drake, whoever the top rapper is, right? I don't understand. Nothing's fair for this guy. He's a baby. So this interview, of course, people are going to tune into it. I know I am, and I know that you are as well. You are as well. Few journalists have the presidential interview experience that Leslie Stahl has. Over decades, she's been one of the premier correspondents in the country. And so she didn't say anything that wasn't true. She did not say anything that was not true. It is a fact that they do not have anything to replace the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. They don't have any replacement for it. People have had some ideas and they don't work, which is why the ACA is so popular. Republicans don't like it because President Obama is credited with it. That's why they don't like it. If it had been Reagan's plan, if it had been Bush's plan, if it had been Trump's plan, the same exact plan, they would love it. They only don't like it. It's only the worst thing ever because Obama is credited with pushing it through. That is it. Be clear on that. Be clear on that. So the interview was combative, right? But as I said, it was no more contentious than any other interview that he's done outside of, Fox News. But many interviews are like this. If you ask a follow-up question, he's, oh, it's a nasty question. And the way that he reacted when she asked about not wanting to jail the governor of Michigan, he acted like, what, me? Me? But somebody, I never would say that. I mean, like, he's such a liar. That's why he's had such a crappy record with marriages, because he's a bad liar. I mean, ask wife number 1. He lied to her. Wife number 2 lied to her. Ask Melania. He lies to her, right? But he does bad lies, right? This guy lies like a 6-year-old. Like, whose hand is in the cookie jar? What? What cookie jar? I don't even like cookies. That's how he acts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio Fire. Shout out to Conway. What's going on? I agree. He definitely just wants to be the victim. Wants to be the victim. Yeah. Shout out E. Digger, Ernest. Salute. And just checking some of these comments. Okay, so Tuna says the Biden crime family. All right, Biden. All right, whatever. The Biden crime family. If it's the Biden crime family, then what is it about Trump? Trump's not it's not the Trump crime family. He's only person committing crimes is the Bidens, right? Radio Fire, of course, is a listener-supported internet talk radio and podcast streaming from our production facilities in Baltimore and Atlanta. We're able to broadcast programs like this one because of our listeners and some amazing partners. Partners like D Lifestyle Secrets. Are you a baby boomer? Translation, were you born between 1946 and 1964? Well, more than 71 million Americans are baby boomers. And as you continue to get older, baby boomers want to stay mobile and experience as few aches and pains as possible. DLifestyleSecrets.com helps you do just that. D Lifestyle Secrets provides a blueprint to reduce and or eliminate joint pain by teaching its members to communicate naturally with their bodies. DLifestyleSecrets.com gives baby boomers step-by-step videos and natural recipes, and most importantly, the motivation to re-energize themselves naturally. Visit DLifestyleSecrets.com to join this active community of baby boomers. So as the countdown is going on for this final presidential debate, we will start our pre-show at 8 p.m., top of the hour. Also, during the pre-show, I will be joined by Philadelphia-based R&B group Aviance. So we're going to chat with those ladies as well during the pre-show to the final presidential debate. Then at 9 p.m., immediately following that pre-show, we're going to go into watching the debate. And then once the debate is over, we are going to dissect it and talk about it. I am excited to see this. Earlier today, the FDA, I got to put it in air quotes, approved remdesivir as a COVID treatment. The drug was being used to treat patients under an emergency use authorization. And so it's crazy. This is an Ebola drug. And like I said, it was just being used under an emergency use authorization in May, but the latest FDA action makes it the first and only approved COVID-19 treatment in the United States. This is the drug that was given to the president after his diagnosed coronavirus bout earlier this month. And the antiviral drug has been found to reduce recovery time by an average of 5 days among those who are sick enough to be hospitalized. And so that is interesting. We're going to have to see how that goes. The drug can fast track recovery by blocking an enzyme that COVID-19 uses to spread inside the body, according to research. So since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the creators, Gilead, has worked relentlessly to help find solutions to this global health crisis. According to their CEO, they said in a statement, and they said that it is incredible to be in the position today, less than 1 year since the earliest case reports of the disease we now know as COVID-19, of having an FDA-approved treatment in the United States that is available for all appropriate patients in need, he said. And so Anthony Fauci, the federal government's leading expert on infectious diseases, previously said that the drug has a clear-cut, significant positive effect in diminishing the time of recovery. So what they have is the first step in what we probably will see as better and better drugs coming along. This is like the first step. This is like a baby step. But there are going to be other drugs. This is not the end all be all. So a treatment plan cost U.S. hospitals at least $3,100 for per patient with private insurance. So the company charges the government, which funds programs like Medicaid, and a discounted rate of $2,340 for the shortest treatment course. So $2,340 is what you are looking at with that discounted rate if you have private insurance. So I'm definitely going to keep following this. This is good news. This is good news. And like I said, this is not the end. Don't think that pandemic is over. This drug does not do anything but diminish the time of recovery, and that is all. So that is what we have there. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. We will begin our pre-show for the final presidential debate at the top of the hour. And until then, I will see you guys 8 p.m. right here, radioonfire.com, YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Facebook, and however you're hearing this.